And you know what? Technology is interesting because I think that's one of the most important indicators of the decline of our country and the world. Look, I think technology stands in between us as people. I think it's a barrier, it's an obstacle to intimacy, like texting, emails, being on your phone all the time. Like for instance, when I go to the airport and go through security, I always opt for the pat-down. Because I don't want to go through that machine for a couple of reasons, but primarily, it's not a human experience. There's no other people involved, there might be a guy in a room laughing, we don't know. But I remember when I wanted to have my first pat-down, I did it because I wanted to have a human experience with another person. We all remember our first pat-down, don't we? But I remember I actually thought that, I'm like, I want to do this because I want that guy to look me in the eye as he puts on this charade like I'm actually a threat. So I go into that pen, I remember it distinctly. I'm standing there, I'm a little excited about my first pat-down, I'm like, this should be unique. Gonna meet a new guy. Not in a gay way, but you know, just in a guy way. And I swear to you, the guy walks into the pen and he looked panicked. He was in his mid-50s, he was balding, and he had this fear in his eye, and I looked at him and he looked at me, and the first thing he said to me was, "I just got back!" And I'm thinking like, what did you do? Why were you sent away? What's gonna happen here? And he said, no, I'm new to the protocol. And I'm like, oh really, I'm new too. This will be a good experience for both of us. And they have this whole script they go through. And he says, do you have any sensitive areas? Yeah, I do. You know, the regular ones. And then they have to talk through the whole thing. And he's feeling my leg. And he's like, I'm feeling up your calf now. And I'm moving up your thigh. And I had this moment where I thought, am I supposed to say warmer? Warmer. Oh my God, you're so close! But he does the whole thing, and he's a little uncomfortable, and he's making me uncomfortable, and I thought, like, you know, who's the top in this situation, you know? Someone should be in charge. This isn't working the way I wanted it to work. But this is intimacy in the culture we live in right now. And then I notice he's nervous because his supervisor is looking over at him, you know, and watching him do what he's doing because he's new to the protocol. And then he gets done, and he looks at me and goes, all right, you're all set. And I walk by the supervisor and just nods at me, and I swear to you, I swear, I got about 5 feet away. I heard the guy that gave me a pat down in sort of a sad voice go, thanks, man. And I literally had this pang of thinking like I should say, you want me to hang out? You know, I'm early for my flight. I can walk you through the next view if you need moral support. But we're having dinner next week, so Look, folks, the future is not Mexican. I'm not racist. I'm nervous. Then that means it's, hey, look, there's nothing wrong with being nervous. It's really case by case. It's not a race-specific or ethnic-specific thing. And I don't think nervousness is wrong. If you encounter something that makes you feel awkward or uncomfortable, it's okay to be nervous. Nervousness doesn't become racism until you hear yourself say, oh, crap, and there's a lot of them. Then you're on a slippery slope. But the future isn't Mexican. I mean, there's a lot of Mexicans. Do you have Mexicans here? No? They're coming. We're about filled up. But I don't mind that. There's a lot of Mexicans, and there's going to be more Mexicans. Mexicans make a lot of Mexicans. It's part of what they do. They are actually the Catholic Church's last hope. You know what I'm talking about. The Italians and the Irish, French, Canadians, you gave up on the church years ago. You just kind of play along just in case. Mexicans still believe, but that's not what I want to talk about. The future is not Mexican, it's Chinese. And I think we all know that. And you know, quite honestly, I've become obsessively fascinated with Chinese people. You know why? Because I really don't know anything about them. Do you? When was the last time you sat down with a Chinese guy and just said, dude, what is up with you people? And it's always good when you use the condescending you people when you're trying to reach out to another ethnic community. I mean, they've been in my country for hundreds of years. They've been a civilization for thousands of years. I don't know anything about them. I am literally obsessed. If I'm in town, like here in Montreal, anywhere there's a Chinatown, I would go to Chinatown. Just to spend an hour in a Chinese supermarket, walking by bins and boxes going, what the hell is that? What is that? Are we eating that? Is that a bug? Is it a snail? Is it a dried fish? Are those rocks? What is that? Oh my God, look at these roots. It looks like a box of E.T. heads. They must fly those in. Oh man, bag of moss, just moss.